We are problem solving using addition. We're on page 205. The essential question today is, how can drawing a diagram help when solving addition problems? Our problem says Kendra had 13 crayons. Her dad gave her some more crayons. Then she had 19 crayons. How many crayons did Kendra's dad give her? So we're going to work on unlocking this problem. We need to understand this. What is it I need to find? They've asked me to find how many crayons Kendra's dad gave her. So what information do I need to use? The information is always in the word problem. So if I'm trying to find out what I need to use, I need to go back to my word problem. Kendra had 13 crayons. So here it says she had blank crayons. So we're going to put a 13 in there. After he gave her some more crayons, she had blank crayons. And here in our problem it says, then she had 19 crayons. How many crayons did Kendra's dad give her? So we know that after he gave her some, she had 19 crayons. So today we're going to use a bar model to solve this. And remember, when you have your whole bar model, that's your whole number down here. So our whole number is 19. That's what she has in the end. But one part is 13. She starts with 13. The other part, we don't know. That's what her dad gives her. And we know that there are 19 crayons in all. So that's why that 19 is down here on the bottom, because that's our whole. So 13 plus something equals 19. So what do you add to 13 to get to 19? Well, how are we going to find that? You could use a number line, you could count on, or you could count up. But if I look at this, I can see that both of these numbers have 110, but the ones are different. There are 3 ones here, and something is added to it to get to the 9 ones here. So the only thing we're changing are the ones. So what do we add to 3 to get to 9? We add 6, exactly. So 13 plus 6 equals 19. So 6 crayons is what her dad gave her. Remember, when you look at your bar model, when you have both parts, that's going to give you your total, or your whole, on the bottom. We'll turn our paper over. We're going to try some more problems. And it says, label the bar model, write a number sentence with a blank for the missing number, and solve. So the bubble is just reminding us, what do I need to find, and what information do I need to use? That's unlocking our word problem. It's understanding what this word problem is telling you and what they're asking you to find out. So the problem says Mr. Kane has 24 red pens. He buys 19 blue pens. How many pens does he have now? So Mr. Kane has 24 red pens and he buys 19 blue pens. How many pens does he have now? This problem is telling me that I do not know the whole, but I do know the 2 parts. Mr. Kane had 24 red pens, so I can put that 24 there, and he buys 19 blue pens. So what I'm trying to find out is, what is this when we put those 2 parts together? So this is going to be an adding sentence, and I know my 2 parts, 24 plus 19 equals blank. It equals something. And we have been learning about how to add with regrouping. That's the easiest way for me to do it. So in this blank space over here, I'm going to make a T so that I can add that 24 and 19 and use that skill that we've been practicing. So we're going to start in the ones place first. 9 plus 4 is 13. I'm going to put that on the side so I remember that I have a 110 there. So I'm going to put the 3 ones in the ones place, and I'm going to put that 110 in the tens place. And 2 plus 1 is 3, and I can't forget this one. Plus 1 more is 4. So my total here is 43. That's how many pens he has, and I also need to put it over here because that's the whole of this bar model. Number 2, Hannah has 10 pencils. Jim and Hannah have 17 pencils all together. How many pencils does Jim have? Okay, so I know how many pencils Hannah has. She has 10. But I do not know how many pencils that Jim has. So I know one of the parts, but I don't know both of them. And Jim and Hannah have 17 pencils all together. So I do know the whole. They have 17. That's going to be our biggest number. And Hannah has 10. So my number sentence with a blank is going to be this part, 10, plus, I don't know what this is, so it's a blank, equals 17. And we've talked about adding with a 10 before and how we can do that. It's a mental math. So if we have 10, what do we add to it to get to 17? 10 plus what equals 17? 10 plus 7, exactly. So the other part up here is going to be the 7, and Jim has 7 pencils. We want to go to the next page, which is page 207, and do some word problems here. I'm going to read these to you and maybe give you a few hints, and then you're going to solve it to find the answer. There are 8 owls flying in the forest. There are 15 owls resting in the trees. How many owls are there? So they're asking us to look for the total here. There are 8 owls flying in the forest, and there are 15 owls resting in the trees. So we know the two parts. We know that there are 8, and we know that there are 15. What you need to figure out is what is this total here? What's the whole? We have two parts. You need to find the whole. Okay, and you need to write the number sentence for that here with a blank, just like they tell you up here, and then put your answer over here. What is the answer for the whole? Number 4, Amy and Matthew catch 17 crickets in all. Amy catches 9 crickets. How many crickets does Matthew catch? So we know, they tell us what the in all answer is, what the total is. They catch 17 altogether. That's their total. And they tell us one of the parts, Amy catches 9 crickets. So she has 9. So what is it that Matthew has? You need to write an addition sentence with a blank and get your answer and put your answer here. And number 5, Percy sees a grasshopper jumping in the grass. He counts 16 jumps, then he counts 15 more jumps. How many jumps does he count? So they're asking us to look for the total, how many jumps in all, and we don't know that, but we do know the two parts. We know that first the grasshopper jumps 16 jumps, and we know that he jumps 15 more jumps. So what is that whole? What is that total? You need to write an addition number sentence here with a blank, and then figure out your answer and put it over here. And turn it over to the last side. We're on page 208. And it says, choose a way to solve. Write or draw to explain. Rita put 5 paper clips in each cup. There are 3 cups in all. How many paper clips are in the cups? This is going back to something that we haven't done in a while, some repeated addition. We know that there are 3 cups in all. So I'm just going to make a line for each cup. And there are 5 paper clips in each cup. So there have to be 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here. And then you're going to write a repeated addition sentence to get your answer, to see how many paper clips there are in all. Jeff has 19 postcards and 2 pens. he buys 20 more postcards. How many postcards does he have now? Well, I can see in this word problem that they gave us some information that we don't need to know. It's not going to make a difference in what our answer is at all. We don't need to know this. So what don't we need to know? Jeff has 19 postcards and 2 pens. He buys 20 more postcards. How many postcards does he have now? So this question is asking us only about postcards. We do not need to know about pens. So we're just going to get rid of that. So now Jeff has 19 postcards. He buys 20 more postcards. How many postcards does he have now? So we're looking for a total. You need to, you can write a number sentence, or you can make a T over here to do your work and get your total and put it here on the line. Alicia drew 15 flowers. Marie drew 4 more flowers than Alicia drew. How many flowers did they draw? Now this is a hot problem because it's got a little tricky part in here. And my students quite often make the mistake of thinking that Marie drew 4 flowers. That's not what this tells us. We know that Alicia drew 15 flowers and Marie drew 4 more flowers than Alicia drew. So you have to figure out what is 4 more than 15, and that's how many Marie drew. And then the final part is how many flowers did they draw? They're looking for a total of what both girls drew together. So to solve your final part, you can make a T to put your numbers in there and get your answer, your total. Number 9, there are 23 books in a box. There are 29 books on a shelf. How many books are there? So again, you're going to make a T here. And you have 23 books in a box and 29 books on a shelf. You need to put those numbers in there and then do your addition to get your total. When you have completed all of those, your assignment will be done.